Oh, hello, Oleg. I hope you have good news. What? And Nina? Is she okay? Damn it, how could that have happened? I thought you were gonna keep an eye on her. No, I don't want to calm down. I made that mistake once already, and the result... Yeah, okay. Where exactly? Okay, I'm on my way.
So, if Sergei's information is correct, then this would have to be the military hospital where they brought Nina.
I hope Nina is all right. How could a complete train derail?
They think it was an attack, but for now we should not care about that. You have to get Nina out of there.
Who, me?
Yes. Alone you have a better chance of not being discovered. It was a miracle that we got this far without problems. I mean, I gave the research station an extra wide berth, but this close to it, I almost counted on being caught by the military.
Okay, and so now, how do I get in there?
Start thinking.
Great, but thanks a lot anyway for the lift here. Without you, I would never have found it.
No problem. It was a pleasure. You were pretty worried about Nina, aren't you?
Yes, hopefully nothing has happened to her.
You really like her, don't you?
Yes. Nothing that wonderful has ever happened to me before.
Hey, wake up, boy. You can dream after you get Nina out of there.
Yes, you're right.
So, let's move. We don't have a lot of time. I'll wait here in case you need help somehow. Oh, don't forget, Nina has been traveling under the name of Perkova and probably has been admitted under that name. And now, good luck.
Thanks. I will probably need it too. My doctor always said I should eat more fruit. Well, maybe picking more fruit is a good start. My cell phone with all the bells and whistles. You can even make phone calls with it. Her cell phone is off. I just tried it a moment ago. Now I've got a carrier bag full of holes and horrible red stains. Here, tie this around the hand with the missing fingers. Maybe we can fool the medic into thinking you've only just lost them, if he doesn't look too closely. It's locked. It must be electric, because it doesn't have a keyhole. Hello? No reaction. It really seems to be an ambulance. The writing on it is in Russian. I can't read it, but there's a phone number next to it. 03112. I hope my plan works. Hello. My friend is badly hurt. I think he's lost a couple of fingers. Yes, I'm standing here at the bus stop in front of the hospital. Please. Send someone out quickly. I think he's bleeding to death. Yes, but please, hurry. I now only hope that Oleg's acting qualities are sufficient enough to convince the ambulance driver of his story. Well, now I'm in the courtyard. Now I just have to find Nina. Empty syringes, soiled bandages, and a finger. I wonder if Oleg would... No, I'd better not. Something is casting these shadows. Something very, very close. There's a key in the lamp. It's a strange hiding place, but better than putting it under the doormat. It should work with that. Done. It fits. And into the lion's den. Hopefully no one's in the cellar. A dictation machine. Maybe there's a recording of Nina on it.
Patient 1835, severe psychological and neural problems, currently in a coma. During the observation period, the patient exhibited symptoms such as optical and acoustic hallucinations, reflexive muscle contractions, and incontinence. Patient also exhibited psychogenic reactions, temporary amnesia, partial facial paralysis, and spots in front of the eyes. Damage to the temporal lobe caused by external influences, fracture of the right wrist, various contusions, and hematomas in the area of the head and arms. Apart from some of the external injuries, the patient exhibits similar symptoms as the other patients. The report must be completed as soon as possible and faxed to Moscow.
Damn, the batteries are running right down. That sounds terrible. What does "as with the other patients" mean? Does it mean that these behavioral and consciousness problems appear on a lot of people? If yes, why? What is the cause? I'll have to tell Nina about that, because something here is not right. I don't know what it is, but I definitely don't like it. Not at all. There are medical records in here, all sorted alphabetically. Maybe I can find out what they did to Nina. K, Koch, Kyo, Cam. No records on Nina. Wait, Oleg said she was traveling under a false name, something with P. Perkova. So let's have a look. P. Pow. Perez. Perez Manuel. Wasn't he the one who went on the Tunguska expedition with Nina's father? And he was here too? That's very interesting. I should have a look at that. If my rudimentary medical knowledge isn't fooling me, there's something here about extreme behavioral and consciousness disturbances. Perez's behavior obviously showed such strange symptoms, unrecorded in any known illness. That was ages ago. In the meantime, research should have... It looks like they tried to find out about the illness by carrying out experiments on him. Through the cranium without an anesthetic. That's ghastly. Electroshocks, straitjacket, shock therapy. That reads like a torture report out of the Middle Ages. But the poor guy seems to have survived it. Then, a few weeks ago, he was sent back to his home country after an application from a certain Dr. Nicole Charlois to a small suburb of San Cristobal west of Havana. It looks like he obviously resisted so violently that they had to give him the double doses of phenylcyclidine piperidine. I believe that sedative has been forbidden for a while now. That's strange. Perez has been here for almost 30 years, and suddenly they're shipping him off to Cuba? And Nina's father disappears without a trace shortly thereafter. I would be astonished if there wasn't a connection. But what could it be? Conditions like these would cause hospitals to shut down completely. At least I hope so. I'll have to be careful not to touch the needle. The bucket is full of blood. I think I'm gonna throw up. I don't really want to find out who or what is lying underneath it and where all these stains come from. Luckily, it can't be Nina. The person or thing is far too small. Ammonia. No idea what they use that for. Maybe as an alternative to smelling salts to bring someone back to consciousness? I cannot find anything in particular on the skull, but the lungs. I can't imagine that the person is still alive. I can hear voices. As long as I don't know what to expect on the other side, I'm not touching this door.
Can't do anything about that, but you're missing out. It's a really good game. I just wish the satellite dish wasn't so sensitive. I have to keep adjusting it. Hopefully, it won't be as windy as yesterday. I couldn't really see anything properly. No, you can forget that. Just be happy that the broad is in a deep sleep at least and not constantly on a rampage. Yep, and 3 more days up in that damp room, then our doctors have more work to do. No, you better stay up there. There's hardly anyone here, but in case someone should surface, there'll be another uproar about people leaving posts and so on. Not to worry. The head physician won't even notice that I'm more occupied with the TV during my shift than with making rounds. I'm keeping an eye on the entrance. If he doesn't come crawling through the basement, I'll notice him in time no matter what. Yep, will do. Till then. And don't go hunting rats again. The doc is still sour about the bullet holes.
A damp room somewhere on the upper floors. At least now I know where Nina is being held. But it's a little inconvenient that there are at least 2 guards there. I have got to get into contact with Nina somehow. Perhaps she's got an idea how to get rid of them. The guard is busy watching soccer on TV. Still, I better not go any further into the room because if he turns around, I'm dead meat. A heavy safety door. It only seems to open from one side. If I'm not mistaken, one of these bottles contains that stuff Perez was sedated with in it. I still can't identify the rest. It seems to be a sewage pipe. It runs into the top floor. I can hear really loud snoring and groans, something about a train, explosions, and Daddy. Now, wait a minute, that sounds like Nina. The pipe seems to lead into the room where she's being held. Nina, hey, wake up. Nina? No. Damn, she seems to be a heavy sleeper. She can't hear me. That penetrating smell might just take care of waking Nina up. Ugh, it stinks to hell down here now. That does not help me at all. Maybe the small ventilator is powerful enough to blow this ammonia stink into Nina's cell. Gotta be worth a try.
Ugh, what a terrible smell. Doesn't that contravene all the rules of the Geneva Convention?
I'm very happy that you're all right.
Max?
Who else? Or were you expecting someone special?
To tell you the truth, I wasn't prepared for a surprise visit. I should tidy up a bit here first. And let some air in. Did you send me this revolting smell in here?
Yes, there was no other way to wake you up. By the way, you snore and talk in your sleep.
If you mention that to anyone at all, you are a dead man.
Don't worry, but we have to get you out of there first.
Good idea. Do you have a plan?
No, not really.
Then now is the time to come up with one. I'll get myself tidied up in the meantime. The fact that the hero rescues the princess and she looks like something the cat dragged in was never part of any story that I have read. And I lay on that thing. Ugh. I'm not reaching in there. I don't really want to know what is scrabbling around in there. That one has had it. This chair leg is only made out of plastic, but I still can't break it off. The wall doesn't make a very solid impression. However, getting out of here would probably take days. Pull it once over this sharp edge and the work of many evenings goes to the dogs. Ooh, if my grandmother would see that. That mat was an arduous piece of work. Now it is only 5 meters of thread. If I hang the thread into the pipe, it may very well get hooked onto the rusty walls of the pipe. The thread is not all that strong if a part breaks off when I tie a knot. The stone seems to have hit the bottom. Now I can exchange a few smaller objects with Max. Locked. I suppose that had to be expected, but it's still worth a try. Take that, scourge of every health authority. So now the last leg is off too. Don't you go walking away.
It doesn't look like a typical ambulance, more like a military vehicle. But what is it doing this far away from civilization? Hardly the newest model, but it fulfills its purpose.
Damn it! The stupid satellite dish needs adjusting again.
Before I know what I'm gonna do with it, I'll definitely not put any poison in it. I'm already not that happy with the thought of walking around with an exposed syringe.
A hollow chair leg. You can look right through it. You can, but it's not obligatory.
I'll take the back of the syringe off. The needle and its attachment should then be light enough for me to use it as a dart in my blowpipe. If I touch this needle now, our little adventure will come to a pretty fast end. Apparently the guy has already readjusted the satellite dish. The people should be working, not watching TV.
Damn it! The stupid satellite dish needs adjusting again. Crap! How did that happen?
That guy is making a hell of a noise. I'll have to get him to shut up very quickly. A heavy safety door. It only seems to open from one side. That guy will notice me as soon as I open the flap, and if I don't eliminate him within a second, things here might get a little uncomfortable. I think that with such a hectic job, a little bit of peace won't hurt the guard.
Ouch! What was that?
So, I'm rid of him for now. The guard is in there, and that is the way it should stay. I'll take the thumbtacks with me, but the bulletin board can stay where it is. The soup is so watery that I'll lose most of it moving around, and then I'll stink of cheese for the rest of my life. The sponge sucks itself full of soup. So, this is where the second guard is sitting. I almost landed in his lap. One more step and he'll notice me. I've got to think of something to distract him.
Locked. I suppose that had to be expected, but it's still worth a try. Whatever it is in there, if it is attracted to the smell, it'll grab its prey and disappear. It doesn't make much sense, really, does it? Looks like it could work as a trap. Stress on the could. If it is really true that mice and rats like cheese, then this aromatic piece of foam rubber must be the perfect bait. The big game hunt can begin. Then let's have a look and see what we've caught.
Don't believe that just walking in is a good idea. Nina is at the end of the pipe. I have to get her. Run. Run as fast as you can and keep the guard busy for as long as you can. Good luck.
Just you wait, you little beast! I'll get you!
The door is locked.
Max, quick! Get me out of here!
Hang on a moment. I've nearly done it. A small, ugly green chair. Trying to get shot of the teacher at school didn't work this way, and it'll certainly not work here. I'll put this thumbtack under the cushion so that the guard doesn't get suspicious.
Damn! That rat just slipped away from me! But wait, I'll get you next time! Ah! Spivak, you're a rat as well! But I'll get you too!
All is quiet. I hope the dose was strong enough. A bunch of keys.
I'm really happy to see you, and thanks for...
My pleasure, noble princess. Come on now, we have to go.
I'll just get my things together. Hopefully those guys haven't grabbed everything. Thanks, you two. I would hate to think what would have happened if you hadn't come along.
You don't have to, but we wouldn't let you rot anywhere in the sticks.
I knew that I could rely on you.
Anytime. If I had to, then I would even...
Could you postpone the niceties until later? We should get going. The people in the hospital are bound to notice your absence soon.
Yeah, I'm ready. Although...
What?
We must be really close to where my father used to set up camp on his earlier expeditions. Am I right?
Yes, that's true. But we really don't have any time for that. The hospital belongs to the Russian military, and when they sound the alarm, it will get extremely uncomfortable around here. We should first get out of here, and think about how we want to proceed along the way.
But...
No buts. The risk of landing here in the first place was already big enough. We are going. Max, I need your help to get the airplane ready for liftoff.
Oleg is right. We've got to get away from here first, and then we'll see what happens. Go on, get your things out of the Jeep and come.
Attention! Attention! An alarm has gone off in the neighboring military hospital. A female patient who is considered extremely dangerous has escaped. The military has been notified and several soldiers are on their way here. Until they arrive, no one is allowed to leave the airfield. Everyone is ordered to be on high alert. No one will be permitted to take off or land.
Damn, they're looking for me already. What now? We'll meet here in a few hours.
I hope you have good news.
Unfortunately, no. Kalenkov is still missing.
I'm waiting for the good news.
Well, at least the others haven't found him yet either.
We are running out of time. The preparations for the project are almost finished and everyone is waiting for you to finally find the missing piece of the puzzle.
I'm doing my best. What should I do if...
Concentrate on his past. Someone has to know about Kalenkov's research, and if he can't tell us his secret himself, then others will just have to do it for him.
Hopefully Max and Oleg are all right. I suppose they weren't born yesterday. They'll get along with the soldiers somehow. And exactly how are we going to get away from here again, I don't yet know. We can brainstorm that later. In the meantime, I can try to find the camp from which my father started his expeditions. The thing is, where do I look? Apart from this tent, I have found no signs of human existence. Hopefully I can get some help here. I am not driving away from here until I have found out something at least that throws a little light on Daddy's kidnapping. First aid? Only first aid for alcoholics. 1 bottle of vodka and nothing else. No bandages, no painkillers. Apart from the vodka, of course. The trough is empty. Clearly, nobody seems to take very good care of the animals. If I pull the plug on that barrel, its contents will seep into the ground. A beautiful animal. Wouldn't it make a wonderful bedside rug? The fur is quite soft. It would definitely... Don't look at me like that, or I'll put my thoughts into action. Sorry for simply barging in like this, but I'm looking for...
Medicine. Parchment. Burnt.
What? Which parchment? And what kind of medicine? I don't understand. The old guy seems to be in a kind of semi-conscious state. I'm not at all sure if he can even hear me. Obviously, he needs some kind of medication. I'll take a look around. These bits of parchment have been so badly fire damaged that they'll fall apart if I pick them up. I'll have to restore them somehow. The fire hasn't completely destroyed the parchment, but it is pretty charred and brittle.
No.
The old guy obviously doesn't want me to take the statue. I'd better leave it here. A strange creature with its mouth open. It seems to be some type of nutcracker. They all look as if they're about to fall apart. I'll be very careful that... One of the threads has come loose. I don't need any more of them, so I'll leave the tassels where they are. I need your help, old man.
Sin.
In his condition, I am hardly going to be able to talk to him. I'm afraid he's going to fall into a coma at any time. Too big, too heavy, and too useless. A large case, probably for provisions. The tree is ancient. It must have survived the catastrophe undamaged, but that was 100 years ago. Only the bark is flaking off. But that would happen to me after a century as well. I definitely won't fell the tree with that. I'll limit myself to the bark. If I touch that stuff, I'll never get it off my hands again. Then I'll get on with my favorite hobby and start destroying things. What should I do with this drought victim? That stuff stinks. It looks and smells like there's sulfur coming out of there. I'm not putting my hand into that. I'll scald myself. I have no idea if it is under protection, but it is so pretty that I would really like to make an exception and leave it in one piece. That poor animal is drinking as if there were no tomorrow. The scissors are so blunt that I'll only manage to tear some hairs out. The reindeer won't like that very much. Not really the superlative in whetstones, but these scissors can't get any blunter. And how's that? It now cuts more than butter. Easy there, boy. There are still pieces of parchment in the ash. If I put the wood in there, it'll completely destroy them. The barrel has a fitted lid, and therefore I can't get it off. Through heating, the water and the resin have mixed. The resin is almost runny now. If I take the spoon, the hairs, and this thread, and Hey! It works! If I paint the resin very carefully over the parchment pieces... It worked! 5 parts of the source of life, 2 parts of root of tears, 1 part blood of the night, 3 parts drops of intoxication, to be taken shortly before it unites with the wind. What effect it is supposed to have isn't noted, just as much as how to get each ingredient. I have no idea if it is under protection, but it is so pretty that I would really like to make an exception and leave it in one piece. I know, they're under the protection of nature conservation laws. I'll be very careful. Five parts of the source of life, 2 parts of root of tears, 1 part blood of the night, 3 parts drops of intoxication, to be taken shortly before it unites with the wind. What effect it is supposed to have isn't noted, just as much as how to get each ingredient. Hey, old man, wake up. Is this the recipe for your medicine? It really does seem to be the recipe. The old guy wants me to prepare it in this vial. I'll have to hurry preparing his medicine. He's not going to hold out for much longer. I could press out the gentian bulb with that, but then the juice would run all over the place. Well, that must be the right doses, depending, of course, on the bulb being meant as the root of tears. A few drops of the intoxication. The following ingredients are in the vial. 3 parts, drops of intoxication. 2 parts, root of tears. 5 parts of the source of life. 2 parts of root of tears. 1 part blood of the night. 3 parts drops of intoxication. To be taken shortly before it unites with the wind. What effect it is supposed to have isn't noted, just as much as how to get each ingredient. Ketchup is made of tomatoes. Tomatoes belong to the nightshade family. That could be the connection to the blood of the night reference. I'll try it. Five parts from the source of life. Got it. Hopefully this witch's brew doesn't blow up in my face. I have no idea when the stuff is ready, but before it all evaporates... Evaporate! That's it! To be taken before it unites with the wind. Then the medicine must be finished. Drink, old man. I hope that helps.
Thanks.
My pleasure. What happened?
A little difference of opinion with the guards.
Guards? From the research station?
Yes, Oh, it's not important.
Not so important. You nearly died.
But I'm alive. And you aren't just here to help me, are you? You have some questions.
Yes. How did you know?
Your eyes betray you. The eyes betray everyone. And your eyes, I know your eyes. They were here once a long time ago.
Me? I was most certainly not.
Yes, they were. But they weren't in the body of a young woman. You're the daughter of... What was his name again?
Vladimir Kalenkow? You know my father?
Yes, Vladimir was his name. He came to me back then like you are today, with the same eyes.
I need your help. If you knew my father, then you can also tell me what happened here all those years ago.
I'm only a shepherd. I've always been a shepherd, and I will remain a shepherd for the rest of my life.
But...
I know my place in life, and you should know yours too. Listen to the words of a simple man. My son didn't listen to me.
What do you mean?
You want to know what happened here almost 50 years ago, and what is happening here today. My son was also curious. He didn't want to listen to me. He found a strange piece of metal in the woods, and he asked questions. The wrong questions to the wrong people. I never saw him again. There are things that we are just not meant for. If we don't realize this...
Old man, your words may be very wise, but my father is in danger and I need your help.
I know. I can see it in your eyes. You really are just like your father. I also warned him, but he didn't want to listen to me either. He entered the cursed realm of the Ugdi, the evil thunderbirds that have been sent to cause endless sickness since the year of the great catastrophe. Your father ignored my warning, and his companion must have paid dearly for it. I know that I cannot stop you, so I will tell you where your father had his camp back then. Follow the northern path until you reach the swamps, and you will find what you are looking for. But always remember my words. Be careful in everything you do. Things happen here that no one can even begin to imagine.
The Event was right. The atmosphere here is real strange. So unreal.
Even if perhaps a good portion of superstition is involved, I have a strange feeling here. And then this story with the Thunderbirds and the endless sickness. Pull yourself together, Nina. You're just exhausted. There are no Thunderbirds, and any phenomenon, no matter how mysterious, can be explained rationally.
Hopefully. That must be the site that the old man spoke of. My father started his expeditions from here. Maybe I'll find an explanation here of how the events of the past link with the kidnapping of my father. An 8mm film projector. Considering its age and the fact that it's not professionally handled here, it is not in bad condition.
It won't work without electricity.
The small windows are absolutely filthy.
Inside, the windows are almost clean. A small bit of tinfoil. The wall is covered in soot. You can't just wipe it over and, hey, presto, clean. As an obedient little housewife, of course I know what my duties are. There, finished. Shall I make dinner now as well? The sunlight makes the hut look a little friendlier, at least. I know, the window is not completely clean yet, but that will have to do it for now. An old drinking water tank. A generator, supplying the hut with power.
There is obviously no more fuel in it. That would have been too good. If I remember correctly, then that thing has something to do with magnetism and producing electricity. Wow, what a monster! I have to ask, even if I'm talking to myself, how did that thing get here? There still seems to be a bit of diesel oil in there. There's still plenty of vodka in there. If I want the one spirit, I think I will have to get rid of the other. Nastarovia!
Oops, I think I'm a bit out of practice.
This has been plundered. Everything that can be taken off and carried is gone. There are only 2 small nuts here, and I am having them. That must be the research station that the transit train was supposed to be going to. Has it even arrived there at all? The research station is certainly impressive. It even has its own runway, and probably just as impressively secured. I can forget getting in there. I'm not even sure that I want to go in anyway. After all, I have heard and read about this station and the place it was built on. Anyway, the station does radiate a certain fascination. Not a positive one, and the longer I look, the more I get the shivers. I better make my way back. There's a lot to do, and I still don't know what secret out of Daddy's past is concealed here. The whole station looks like out of a science fiction movie. Hardly believable, considering that it has been here for several decades. Will its secret ever be revealed to me? That's what I call quality craftsmanship. Over 50 years old, and it still works like it did when it came out of the factory. There is no roll of film in there. It is light enough here, and I don't want to waste any petroleum. Who knows if I'll need it again? There is no roll of film in there. I'll light the lamp. I can't see or find anything special. The rag is soaked through. Now that the suit is off, I can see numbers written on it. 7.5, 3, 10.5, 6. Now that the suit is off, I can see numbers written on it. 7.5, 3, 10.5. 6. Nothing happens. The button must have a purpose. But what? I'll hold both nuts close to the coils, but not too close, otherwise I'll be toast. As a result, they seem to have become magnetized. That's strange. Obviously, the compass needle only moves when I press the button. I seem to have triggered a mechanism, but nothing has happened yet. A secret compartment! There are a few old documents and a roll of film in there. I'll have a look at the documents. Maybe my father left them there. Yes, indeed. He describes that the 1958 expedition apparently could not provide an explanation why the plant growth has changed so much here since the catastrophe of 1908. The discovery of a meteorite, hoped for by the government as a cause of the devastating explosion, also did not materialize. For this reason, neither my father in his function as the leader of the expedition, nor the biologist, Ken Morangi, could provide an unambiguous conclusion, which obviously was not regarded favorably by the authorities. Oh, and they are also briefly mentioning Oleg here, but apparently he was not that important. I guess I'd better not tell him that. Years later, in his function as a geologist at the Academy of Sciences in Moscow, my father examined a strange piece of metal that had been found in the Tunguska region. He then was able to prove its non-terrestrial origins, which breathed new life into the meteorite theory. However, upon further analysis, he and his colleague Manuel Perez discovered traces that indicated that the metal had been worked. When they wanted to publish their discovery in the Kalenkov Expert, it was completely, surprisingly, rejected, and they were forbidden any further examination of the rock. When my father continued to inquire about the happenings in the Tunguska region, he was dismissed from the Academy of Sciences. The last entries are from 1977. Obviously, he and Manuel Perez went to the Tunguska region on their own. They hoped to find additional fragments of that strange material so they could continue their studies. What the goal was and what happened isn't written down in here. In addition, I have this burning desire to know what is going on with this fragment. On the one hand, it's probably not of terrestrial origin, but on the other hand, it was processed. That would mean... The old Evenk also said something about his son finding some metal fragment in the woods, and then suddenly disappearing. That would fit in with the fact that my father was even thrown out of the Academy of Sciences due to his analysis. I hope that I will find some more answers on that roll of film. Damn, the bulb has burned out. It's not possible to just pop around to the shops and get another around this place. So now is the time to think of something else. Yep, that should work. Since it's rather dark in here, the light reflected by my modified glass shard should do it.
So, Manuel, the camera's rolling.
Please excuse me for a moment. I'll be right back.
Manuel!
What was that? Lightning? Or sheet lightning? And what happened to this Manuel Perez? That sounded like an explosion. I should see what's going on. Looks as if half the station exploded.
Come on, come on! Move your asses! The intruders have to be around here somewhere. We'll get them. Spread out.
Oh, my head. What was that? Feels like someone sifted through my thoughts.
There's someone up there. Get them!
Damn. I have to get away from here. Thanks. That was close.
No problem. I told you that I would catch you if you were ever standing on the edge of a precipice. What happened? We just saw that some areas of the research station were in flames, and suddenly there were soldiers everywhere.
I don't know much more either. Suddenly, two strange figures appeared in front of me out of nowhere.
From the FSB?
No, they weren't agents. I'm not really sure. This may sound kind of stupid, but I'm not even sure if they were human.
What?
I don't know how I should describe it. It was more like a feeling that I got from them.
What did they want? Did they say anything?
They didn't really speak. It was more like voices inside my head. It was as if they were looking for an answer.
What kind of answer?
I don't know how to describe the feeling. It was as if my head was going to explode. I've never experienced pain like that. And then suddenly, I knew that I wanted to tell them everything. It was suddenly so clear.
You told them everything?
No. Before I could say anything, the soldiers came and the two figures disappeared as suddenly as they appeared. Where are we flying to anyway?
In the meantime, Sergei has found out that your father was never in Moscow. So it almost looks as if the entire trip was pretty much in vain.
No, on the contrary. I'm now sure that my father was kidnapped for some reason that has to do with the Tunguska catastrophe.
How come?
I found some of my father's old documents. If I haven't misunderstood them, he was on the trail of something big, and I have a name, Manuel Perez. He was with my father back then, and we also know approximately where he is now.
Yes, in a mental institution on Cuba. Great lead.
It's gotta be worth a try. And there's another name on the list. This Irish biologist, Ken Morangi.
That's right. I know that I have already asked a lot from you two, and am deeply indebted to you. And I would understand...
Stop rambling. What's your plan? You're heading to Cuba and I'm heading to Ireland?
You'd really do that?
You can pay me back some other time. For example, by buying me a cup of hot coffee.
Max, you're a sweetheart.
And don't you ever forget it.